How are you? I'm Mr. Henry. Once again, welcome to the lesson. Today, we're going to be together in history. Now, remember last time we started discussing about political changes in independent Tanzania. And we also talked of something to do with mono-party and touched some of the matters to do with multi-party. I explained the mono-party system in Tanzania and also the multi-party system in Tanzania. And we touched some of the areas to explain this concept. But now, today, I want us to discuss something to do with mono-party, but we're going to talk more about advantages of mono-party system. Last time, I said mono means single, or means one. Therefore, mono-party, you can say mono-party or single party. Now, today we're going to see the advantages of single-party system or a one-party system. Now, one of the advantages of the mono-party system or single-party system is that the expenses and costs is reduced, especially during election, considering that the government is obligated to supply or to give out subsidies to parties. Now, what is the meaning of this point? When you talk about the country having to have mono-party system, means that the expenses and costs, that means the money which is supposed to be used at the time of election to supply or to supply to the political parties so that it can help them to facilitate the whole practice of election is going to be reduced. That means if they are multi-party, the government is going to be obliged. The government is supposed to give out the subsidies. The subsidies means the money which the government gives to the parties to support them during the election. Now, because now it is going to be one party, that means the government is not going to use a lot of money to supply to different parties during elections. That's number one. Number two, we say it is easier to reach decision since there's a little differences in opinion. It's because we are saying that that is mono-party or single party. We say that most of the people ideologies and views are directed to only one party. Therefore, sometimes when it comes to the matters of making decisions or giving out opinions, it becomes very easy because there will be no differences in thoughts or differences in views or opinions. Therefore, sometimes to reach decision in a certain matter or something which people are discussing, it will be very easy because people, all the people can either support the matter or they can oppose the matter as one. Another thing is to do with unity is strengthened because people are one in the decision or opinions. Remember that when people are, they have this one party, usually they will also have one ideology. They also have one views. They also have opinions. That means there will be no rooms for the people to criticize. There will be no rooms for the people to be different. Now, people will be speaking the same language. People will be speaking the same language, or they will have unity in decision. Therefore, another advantage of mono-party is that the unification or the unity among the people is going to be strengthened because people will not have different views. Another point is about, we say it's not easy to have division. Usually, when people are of different views or different opinions, it's very easy to have some divisive or division among them because remember that people have got differences in opinions and views. Now, if people are in one party or single party, it is easy for the people not to have different views. Therefore, division among them might not be very big because people are united or are unified in one party. Now, sometimes if there are differences in opinions or views, you find that some groups in a society or some groups in a community may crop up. Like we talk about religion, we find that sometimes there might be some thoughts concerning religion. People may differ in religion. Sometimes people may differ in tribes, or we say it might have some tribalism. There must be some There might be some tribal differences because people are also giving different views, but also the regional. That means sometimes people may differ also in connection to do with a certain region. You find, let's say, the people from North region, or the people from Lake region, or the people from East region may be a little bit different with the people of other areas. Now, those are the advantages of monoparty system. Now, let us see also, because we have talked about the advantages of monoparty, let's also see the disadvantage or the demerits or the negatives of the monoparty system. Last time when we were talking about democracy, remember we say that democracy is to do with the power, or is to do with the rule of the people. Remember those two words which I explained last time about democracy. Now, disadvantage of monoparty system is that there's going to be limited democracy. That means democracy is going to be limited. That means the power of people to give out their views, or the freedom of expression, or the freedom of choice is going to be limited, because people are going to be confined. People are going to be forced to be in one party, or to be in one party, or one view, or one opinion. Therefore, the freedom of choice as well is going to be limited, because people will not have the opportunity to choose other leaders, because there are no parties which people can experience such freedom for choosing. Another disadvantage is to do with monopolization of power and authority. Monopolization means the action of taking control of all the powers. We find that if there's monoparty system, we find that the leaders in a certain party may monopolize power, may have the total authorization of power. They may not want to dispute authority or to dispute power to others. Now, this one may lead to dictatorship. Dictatorship, because now one person may think that he or she is able to control, or he or she is able to control, or to master, or to govern everything. But in a real sense, it's not possible for one person to control everything. Therefore, there will be monopolization of power and authority, which may lead to dictatorship, whereby one person may decide to start ruling or leading or governing other people by force. And another one is to do with people creativity is limited. If there's monoparty, you find that, because we say that usually in a monoparty system, people, they are forced to have linear thought. When I say linear thought, means they're directed to think in the same way. They're directed to think in the same way, to have the same views, to have the same opinions and decisions. At the end of the day, you find that people will not open up to create some things, or they can not open up to come up with new ideas for development. Therefore, when you talk about people's creativity is limited, we say that people will be limited to have different views, they will be limited to have more ideas which will enhance, or which is going to help them to come up with new ideas which is going to bring development in the country. Now, I've already explained the advantages of monoparty system and also the disadvantages of monoparty system. Remember that this is another word for advantage. You can call it demerits, or advantage you can call it merits, or you can call it the positive effect of monoparty system. But also disadvantage, you can talk about demerits, or you can talk about the negative effects of monoparty system. Now, for today, I thought it's very important for me to end here. I think this is a little bit enough for you, and I'm sure you're going to pass through them and start through them, and you're going to understand the concept. Thank you very much for the lesson, and thank you very much for listening to me. God bless you, and have a good time. Thank you.